We have continuous coverage all day long today, many interviews coming up. We have a wonderful stop by. I was going to say drive by, but we're leading up to that. This is Alex Ward. He's the director of design for Criterion, which will be published by EA, and he's going to be telling us about Burnout 3. This is a game that a lot of you have written in about wanting to see. We have obviously footage on the site, and here it is live. He's going to tell us all about it. Alex, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, we have a lot of hungry aggro drivers out there that really want to hear about Burnout 3 and exciting online. I mean, a lot of new advances, people saying this is the best one yet. Why don't you tell us about it?
Sure. Well, it's great to be here in Los Angeles, which, as we came in on the freeway, it's the home of bad driving. So there's a lot of dented cars. It's a good inspiration for us. We're here today showing Burnout 3 on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Pretty exciting. It's a very fast arcade racing game. But this time, it's a very different game to what we did before with Burnout 1 or 2. You probably hear that a lot at the show and think it's a cliche. Hey, it's a whole new game. We've got this, we've got that. But trust me, Burnout 3 it's a whole new Burnout experience. Very fast, very intense. What we're doing this time is the focus of the new game is all about what we call takedowns. And a takedown is what happens when you use your car as a weapon and smash into another car and take him out of the race. This time, the more dangerously you drive, the faster you can go. That's always been a staple of Burnout. But this time, ramming the other guys into the front of a bus, into a wall, oncoming traffic, whatever you want to do, taking the other guys down is what it's all about.
So we're going to develop some good quality life skills in this game.
It's what you need for going on the highway. I think when you get your driver's license, they say, at least in England, it's not you've got to worry about, it's everybody else.
It's the other guy.
It's the other
right.
maniacs on the road.
Right, so this is good defensive driving. I mean, you're teaching people how to take care of themselves.
Well, defensive driving in this game is probably
offensive.
Taking it safe.
Right.
This game, all about aggression, all about speed. There's no story to this game. There's no setup. This is not an RPG. This is about foot to the floor, driving fast, smashing everybody up. Now, when we made Burnout 2, people said, oh, you guys got the best crashes you ever seen in a video game. And that's good. But when we sat down to make Burnout 3, we knew there was a whole new place to go with car crashes. We spent a lot of time looking at films. Again, another big game cliche. Hey, we're looking at Hollywood this time. But when you walk around this show, not many games look like what you see in the movies. Right. You see car crashes in movies all the time. This time, we want to make our crashes look like movies. And a cool feature this time that I'll show you in a moment, you can play the car crash. You can steer, you can... If somebody makes you wreck, it's not a failure state. You can slow down time, you can land on them. So if another guy wipes you out on the freeway, you can smash him too. So
great. Well, why don't you show us?
Okay, this is our E3 version coming up here. Obviously, I can race, or at the EA booth, we're connected to the Sony and the Microsoft booth, so you can come by and play online, 6 players, with voice on PS2 and Xbox.
Oh, okay, great.
It's one of the first games to use Xbox Live for EA, so we're really excited about that. I'll fire it up here. I got a couple of tracks here, either in the US or in Europe. I'll show you, well, let's go to Europe, because it'll feel like you're on vacation, right?
And you'll feel like you're back home. Everybody's happy.
Well, we're taking a trip here. This is the Alpine course. This is inspired by a German-style Autobahn course. I don't know if you've ever been to Germany, but if you think they're crazy in LA, they're crazy in Germany. I mean, Italy, Spain, Germany, they got the fast cars. I mean... fast. So here you go. This is our Alpine course. And again, it's all about driving fast. Trying to stay out of trouble won't give you success in this game. Racing in this game is like a barroom fight. It's bottle on the head time, fist in the face. You have to go for it.
How many tracks are there?
So we're working on about 24 tracks, and what we do point-to-point tracks where tracks link from one place to another. And also we do marathon tracks where 2 tracks link together. I can hold down R1, I can slow down here, and I can steer, and the car will wreck.
Wow.
But unlike real life, once you wreck, you're back in the game. There's no fun driving a beat-up car. I do that back at home, it's not very exciting. So again, this is one of our supercars. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen is the boost meter. Now in Burnout 1 and 2, if I drive like an idiot, I can fill the boost meter. So driving on the wrong side of the road, tailgating, drifting, all earns me boost. And this time, you can boost at any time. You have to wait for it to be full. But what I really need to do is to ram these guys into the wall. I can battle with the cars. The aggression is very high. To win the race, there's a couple of shortcuts on some of the tracks, but really, you won't have time to look for them. You'll be too busy looking at where you're going.
It's really fast.
I drive down the... Well, it's fast. This is 60 frames a second.
Wow.
You don't see this in many racing games, surprisingly, but it just means that it's very fast, gives you a good sense of speed. If I've got the in-car view here.
It's faster than the earlier, than Burnout 2 even, right?
Well, Burnout 1 and 2 are both running at 60, but I think this time there's a lot more detail going on screen. This is the PlayStation 2 version, and we wanted the PlayStation version to look like probably one of the best Xbox games you can see. So here, I've done 2 takedowns, I've knocked the other guy down. Bottom left, the boost meter's grown here. It's on fire. I can just hold down R1 and try and get out of trouble. Again, I take down another guy. So online, whoa. I knew I shouldn't have had that beer last night. They told me it was non-alcoholic as well. What we did, we thought a lot about network play with this game. We wanted to race online, and the early online games we'd seen on PlayStation and Xbox, we sort of thought people want to be antisocial online. There's always someone there trying to mess things up for you. I remember playing a game on Xbox Live when I was winning the race, and then 3 guys came the wrong way around the track just to mess me up.
Yeah.
And they were all laughing in the headset. So you can't really cheat this game online.
Okay.
We wanted the offline game to be a warm-up for the online game. It's all about aggression, and like you said, we want it to be like a barroom fight. So when you go online, you're not going to be surprised. The offline game is about fighting through traffic. It's about speed and aggression. That's what's going to happen online. We've got an online mode called Road Rage. Well, we all know what that is. And you get to do this online, so it's an all-out fight. So no one can ruin it for you in this game online. It's all about speed, aggression, traffic, and crashing. Our online game is no different to the offline game. We've got all the traffic in, and the only difference is that you're playing against real people.
Now, what are the modes in single player?
So
offline?
we have straight single player racing. We've got about 65 races. There's 75 cars to unlock, over 25 or so tracks. And then we also have a new mode, Road Rage, which I'll show you in a moment, which is where you get persistent damage on the car. And this replaces a mode from Burnout 2 called Pursuit.
Okay.
And when we did Pursuit mode in Burnout 2, it was an homage to an old game we used to like called Chase HQ. And you drove a cop car. But Burnout's all about taking risks, breaking rules. So we figured you don't want to be a cop, right? Because those guys don't do that that much.
Yeah, they never do that.
They never do.
Of course.
They can take a joke, the police, as well.
Right.
So this mode, Road Rage, you'll see here the aggression is set very high in this. Road Rage is all about takedowns. When you play offline, you have to get a set number of takedowns to get a medal or reward. Online mode, it's sort of like what we call Fox and Hounds. I don't know what the equivalent of that is in America. I don't think there is one. Cat and mouse. Yeah. Not as exciting. Okay, cat and mouse. So if you're playing 6 players, 3 guys will be racing to the finish line, and 3 guys are going to be hunting them down. So you can see here, this guy's on me already. I took him down. Everybody's a target. And again, but my car gets beaten up. The doors are busted here. The more hits I take, if I wreck too much, I'm out the game. So you've got to be the last man standing. And online, you've either got to win the race or take down the racers. So it's racers versus ragers.
And you're not picking up any health along the way. I mean, when you're taking hits, you're keeping hits until
Absolutely.
you're gone, right?
There's no health in this game.
Yeah.
It's still a video game. It's still a fast arcade racing game, but there's no health pickups. Once you're busted, you're busted, and you've got to run for your life.
Now, will we be crashing Ferraris or, say, a Porsche in this game? Any licenses?
Well, it's funny, but there are no real cars in this game because for some reason motor manufacturers don't like to show us.
They don't really approve of the modus.
They don't like to see
operandi.
their beautiful creation being ripped and twisted apart. So, no.
But you see it in movies, you know? I mean,
see it in movies, absolutely, but the movie guys have a lot more money than we do.
Yeah.
So,
and they're doing it in a very controlled way, right? And this is, any of these guys can crash the car. Do they want that?
I think it's a professional driver on a closed course.
Right.
I think.
And do not try it at home.
Absolutely right. This game, again, it's a fantasy about high-speed driving. This is not a simulation of motorsport.
Right.
This is what we all do when you rent a car, although not. We've rented a car on this trip, and we've certainly not driven like this at all, officer.
Of course.
This is about when you rent a car or you borrow your friend's car, the minute they're not looking, you tend to drive it hard. You tend to drive it not like your own car.
Right.
It's a fantasy of driving and running at high speed. And this gives you the chance to fulfill that feeling. And again, driving like a maniac is kind of fun, and it's inside every one of us.
Absolutely.
The other big thing in the game is something we call crash mode. And that's, in a nutshell, is you get points for causing a big car crash.
Okay.
And crash mode was very
it's like
entertaining.
as many cars as you can get to pile up at once.
We set up a junction like a big crossroads, and players take it in turns to roll down the hill and cause the biggest wreck they can.
Okay.
And this mode is coming online now this year. 2 players can play head-to-head or cooperatively. We have a cool party mode, and again, there's over 150 junctions this time.
Wow.
So crash mode, we've been shown it a little behind closed doors. It's a lot of fun.
Great.
And people are enjoying what they're seeing racing, but we've still got a few surprises up our sleeve. And we'll be out in September on PlayStation and Xbox.
Let me ask you one more question about online. How will people find races? How will that, can you kind of describe the layout, or I guess you can't really show us here, but can you kind of tell us how that will look, how people will find other players?
We're hooked up with the EA network online.
Okay.
So you can use your login for Madden or SSX and you're all set and ready to go. We support the buddies list with EA, so you can find all the guys you've been hanging out with on EA Sports. You can just go online and race. You can hook up. It's easy. It's fast. You can get in and out really quickly. You can find when your guys are online.
Great.
It's just a lot of fun. And please come by the booth and I'll show you some more.
Absolutely. Everybody standing here, go by EA's booth and check this out. And for those of you at home, keep downloading and downloading and downloading. And it comes out in September. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
We'll be back in approximately 10 minutes with another interview. We'll be hearing more about Xbox. And we have Kuma War, I believe, coming up at about 11:30. So you guys at home, stay tuned.